If everything is already, then it's just already. It's already cooked. It's already done. There's nothing you can do about it anyway. You can't change it. There's nothing wrong with it. The person, it seems like, will never accept that, which is fine. And there's this attempt to fix it, right? Attempt to change it. Oh, that's really working, and none of it's doing anything, and there's no problem anyway. But it just doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense anyway. But especially for the person, it's almost not imaginable. So if there's a problem, if there's suffering, let's say there's suffering with a loved one, right? That's not to say that there's no apparent effect on that. There's this, right? This feeling. Of, in the heart, right? The heart. The heart, and the brain, and the stomach, and the gut, and the mind, and the chakras, and the soul. That's all. That's all bullshit. But there's no, I don't know, like levels of bullshit. Right? There's stuff like, well, that's kind of true, and then that's not kind of true, and I don't know. It's just all new. And it's always all new. It's all new to everyone. Of course. It's all new. But there's this, I don't know. I haven't used the word illusion very much because I don't understand what that really means or what any of this is, really. I don't know. Is that what there's this illusion that things aren't just whatever it is. So here's Lila. Hi, Lila. She doesn't know anything. Neither do I. We're the same. She reacts, she does what she's gonna do, because that's what she's gonna do. That's just what happens. I'm gonna react and do what I do, because that's just what happens. And then that can get associated with, do whatever you want, or don't do whatever you want, and there's a way to make a decision there of whatever it is. There's no decisions. No one's making decisions. Yeah, which is crazy. Because you make a lot of decisions, right? Right? What are you doing for the day? What are you doing for the week? How do you want to feel? How do you want to look? And supposedly, if you do specific things that you discover about yourself, you can eat this and not eat that, and then you'll feel okay. You can exercise in this way. You can do positive, maybe it's mantras or whatever. You work more or work less, right? Spend time in nature, or, whatever. That's supposed to get to this place of happiness, fulfillment, like you've arrived. There's never, it doesn't exist. Maybe for a short period of time, and it seems so short, when things really, really feel great. And that's where you want to stay. And there's an attempt to go back to that, right? Yeah. You catch it once. That's the glimpse, right? That's part of the problem with, you get a good deep glimpse. Oh, man. It's the worst, right? Could be the worst thing. The best thing could be fall for the worst thing, because you may never get it again. And you may spend the rest of your lives trying to get there and stay there. There doesn't exist. Supposedly you might have had an experience and it was great, and now your life has changed, and now you see the truth. I don't know. It falls apart too. So this message can be seen as giving up, right? I guess that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I always thought it was a bad thing until then it was like, when you get into spirituality, it becomes a good thing. Oh, you gotta give it up. You gotta give up the, whatever, I don't know, everything. And ultimately, you don't have anything, so there's nothing for you to give up. You don't have to do anything, because you're not doing anything already. So it's this, you can't, I don't know, I guess you can't imagine it, because I can't imagine it now. It's not something I know. It's just, I mean, it does seem obvious. Yeah, it seems that you can't know. I don't know. It could be it's very it is very fresh. It's new, and when you don't know, there's nothing there, so there's nothing, I don't know, nothing goes wrong, it seems. It's not judged by anything going wrong. It's not better. There's no better. You're not worse off now. You won't be better in the future. I guess there's perceived better. I don't know. But then that's bullshit too. I mean, of course there's perceived better. Oh, well, now I'm this, so this is better. Usually that's just justification of trying to make yourself feel better, right? Any judgment on, this, I'm doing this right. I've figured it out. I'm the good one, I'm the lucky one, I'm the fortunate one, I'm the smart one. I deserve this. That was a big one for me, is the deserving, or the unfairness of life. That seems to be present with people, with a person. The unfairness. Lila, what do you think? Huh? What? excited? She's excited. We're about to go to the vet, so she's excited. She kind of knows what's happening here. She has a sense, right? She doesn't know. She doesn't know this is a place called the vet. She doesn't know that they're checking her out. She doesn't know this is good or bad for her. She has no idea. But it's kind of a routine that we go through when we go to the vet. Anyway. I was speaking about the unfairness. So something would, when you're a kid, it's the unfairness of someone getting something that you don't have. That's tough. And when it's your friend or your brother or your sister, I mean, it happens on a daily basis if you have kids. It's the unfairness of life just continues to smack you in the face all day long. Nothing can go right. But if you could only control every single thing, then maybe you can get quite a bit of rights lined up. Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. It's not better. And there's no control, and that's so funny. Funny, there's this sense of control. It's the opposites, right? That you have this sense of control or this sense of time or value or specialness. Yeah, and this one's, there was this phrase that I'd heard of, like, it was probably Jim Newman. Who I really enjoy. Talking about the end of experience. And I'm sure someone asked him about, what is your experience, or can we change the experience? And it's the end of experience, which means from a person's perspective, means you're dead, right? You don't experience anymore. And this is often referred to as the death. You died, or the death of me. I don't know. Yeah, experience doesn't make sense anymore. You're not experiencing it. It seems to have it, that you own it, that it's yours, that it's your experience. Without the you, I don't think there can be experience. There's just what's happening. So that's interesting. Oh, so let's talk about death. What is death? The death of the person. It doesn't. You have to, yeah. It's just like, it's almost like the inside the story. Inside the story, there's a death, right? Someone dies, and that can be big, right? That can be important. That can be traumatic. That can be life-changing for someone, if you lose, or someone dies, the loss of a parent, or the loss of a friend, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a child, the loss of a pet. It's not understandable. There seems to be death. And that's one. It's one. It's not a thing, but it's I don't know. It's an interesting thing because we avoid it, but then there's this, try to avoid talking about it, I guess. Thinking about it. At least I did. That was the experience here. Don't talk about that. Don't think about that. Because that's bad or sad or you'll bring it on or, right? Don't jinx. Then you get to the level of all that. That's another topic, but just trying to talk about death. Death is it's just, right? And it's explained. It's just this. It's no, when there's nothing, it's just death. Life. Huh. I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. Where'd my buddy go? Got his ears done. Seems like a lot of work to be a person. Maybe that's why it's so stressful. You try to carry this illusion, this story of who you are and where you fit in and how everything's supposed to be and what's right and what's wrong, and holy shit. No wonder adulthood can be, and just growing up is tough. So growing up is tough, being a kid is tough. You could say being a baby is tough, but I don't know. That seems to be whatever. Uh-oh. I figured it out. No say. Yeah, you got to carry all this stuff around, right? It's make-believe. There's nothing. You're holding on to stories to create a make-believe story, and I don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. Repeated non-dual bits of whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with anything. So there's no need to change anything. There's just the thought of, okay, if this is really the case, if there's nothing, then what does that mean for the person? What does that mean for society? What does it mean for nothing? It means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. There's no difference between between this or that or this or that or nothing. There's no difference between anything. There's no control, there's no doing, there's no fortunate to be living in a human thing. There's no unfortunate to be living in a human thing. Even if you are under an illusion and appear to be suffering. Or you're not an illusion, you appear to be suffering, or you're non-suffering. There's no, right? That's just, it doesn't matter. It's just what happens. So, there's no so. Maybe there's just a so. Excuse me. How you you doing? We're waiting on the vet. 20 minutes. So what tends to happen here sometimes is the brain's still going, and definitely not 100%. There seems to have been a relaxation. Oh, un momento.